Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you how to improve your bench press. This was probably by far the most commented on the how to improve your deadlift. So, coming from a long-armed individual who barely could even press 100 pounds at the start of his fitness journey to now pressing over 405, 430, run the clip. Let's fucking go! What the fuck? 440 is here, bro! What the fuck? I want to go over a little bit of technique, a little bit of cues, and then some things that have helped me improve my bench press. Now, this is going to be more designed at the guys who suck at bench press, because if you came out of the womb at like 5'4", you're probably benching 500 pounds. This isn't really for you. You don't really need to be told how to improve your bench press because you got elite leverages. It's like somebody trying to tell me, hey, how do you come out to improve your deadlift? I came out of the womb pulling 800 pounds. I don't know what to tell you, but we're gonna go into it, get warmed up, and kind of go over some nice like cues, yes and no's, do's and don'ts. We got Joey behind the camera. Comment Joe if you want to see him in more videos. Okay, so let's start it off simple. Let's talk about foot placement, where you should be. Now, if you have issues with your butt coming up off the ground from the bench, usually happens with longer torsoed, longer femored people. I suggest this.
When you're setting up, right, a lot of them, they'll go extra wide and then this will happen. If that happens to you, set the feet a little farther out and then start pigeon toeing. Now, this can help. So you start, it'll look something like this, right? And the toes will be pointed out. And then you're just gonna keep the constant tension in the legs throughout the entire motion.
If you do that, and that's when the bench becomes super technical, because you have to keep everything super tight. Can't be like explosive. When you have your legs out wider, you can be a lot more explosive. Can't do it when it's in this setup. But if you maintain tightness and you keep your technique throughout the weeks, you'll be doing fine. The butt won't go off the bench and you won't be getting those red lights. Now, if that's something where you're like, hey, Sawyer, I absolutely cannot stand doing that kind of foot placement, I'm with you. So I got two other options for you. So, second option is going to be a wider option. If you can do this, I want you to open up your hips, similar to if we're gonna kind of do a sumo deadlift, where our hips are going to be opened up and we're really emphasizing pressing into the ground. I'm not wearing the best bench shoes today. I would recommend you wearing something flat, wrestling shoes, Avances shoes, something like that. Even barefoot, it would be fine. But in all intents and purposes, it doesn't matter for this video because I'm teaching you a technique. So, for a wider one, I like to have it where as soon as I set my lats, I'm setting everything. So this is what it would look like without the bar, right? And when I do that, I feel like everything's locked into place. Feet are locked, lats are locked, everything. So, and you can start off in a couple ways. In this situation, I like to set my arch from the top. It's a little bit easier on the liftoff versus starting in from the bottom. So this is what it would look like. Now, when I am setting this up, I'm really making sure that this is tight. And when I'm setting it up, I'm opening up the rib cage. I don't want to have it where, Joe, if you want to come closer. If I'm setting up where I don't want to be looking up. So many of you guys, you're looking up on the bench press. We don't want that. Stick your damn jaw and the back of your head into this bench. It's going to help it where you're not going to be sliding so much, because so many of you guys are looking up and then you have this shit happen. We don't want that. We want to have it where our head, the back of our head, is getting so stuck into here where everything, all this movement, you see how my chest is gradually rising? And if we take a big breath while we're doing that, it's going to expand the rib cage even more. So check this out. So we have it just like normal. Okay, rib cage is up. Now I'm going to take a big breath. See how much right there, it went up, it went from here to here.
It's like an inch difference. That's an inch off your bench press. So again, this is another variation of a technique, is we start from the back, get our feet planted. Now, if you can't get your feet, you have to practice this. Having it where it's the perfect pressure point, distance, whatever you want to call it, because some of you guys, and I've had this happen, where maybe my one foot is farther than the other, or maybe it's more on this side, and what ends up happening is when I swoop in, I'll get all lopsided on the bench press, and then that's when you bench like this, and the bench sucks. So you have to practice this technique over and over, and then you'll get better and better. So for me, because I've done this for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and it's kind of my favorite technique, especially if I don't have somebody spotting me, it's easier for the liftoff, self liftoff. I can get it down pretty down pat. So I'll just look at my feet right here, make sure, all right, they're in a good position, back on the bench, and then unrack, big breath, and just like that. Now, the third one, when it comes to our foot placement, is an in-between, between that pigeon toe and the wide opening. Maybe there's words for these techniques. I don't know them. I just bench over 405 pounds. That's why you should listen to me. Now, what this one does, and I have to do a variation of all three, depending on what my body weight's at, if I feel like my back is acting up. There's, I think, a good protocol to have in this, because we want to have it where we want to stay healthy. So if I have it where I'm training super hard, and if my back feels like it's aching up or tightening up or it feels like discomfort, I might go into more of this pigeon toe because it's less opening up of the rib cage, less arching, but I still can maintain tightness. Now, this third option that I was talking about is in between, and I've noticed for me, especially being longer limbed, it helps when I'm on a bench that's usually slippy, more slippery, or thinner. And that's when I'm basically holding the bench with my legs like this. The first one, we were like this. Second one, we are more out. And those two are great when the pad is sticky. This pad, for example, is sticky, but this one right here, it's not slippery, right? So, if you're dealing with like a commercial bench at your local college gym, high school gym, or just your shitty Anytime Fitness benches, this technique for placement arching might be better for you. So, what you'll do is, and you can set up both ways, from the top or from the bottom, but right now I'm going to set up from the top so I can show you. I like to keep my feet real close into the bench, and I like to hold it. And I'm almost kind of holding it with my knees / ankles, and then to kind of get my glutes involved, I'll squeeze them, right? So pressing in like this, and then I'm sitting into it. And that's what it looks like. Now, I can keep this tightness pretty damn good. Big breath, and then let it out. I will use this kind of leg drive technique when I start losing weight. It's a kind of an in-between when I'm too light or if I'm too heavy, because when I'm too heavy, right, when I'm like my 250, I don't want to be in this position. I like to be kind of a little more open. I can be more explosive. I have more fat on my back, on my chest. I get more of that spring action. If you saw my 430 bench, it was literally sit and then just throw it off my chest. This one you can't do that with. If you do, this is what will end up happening. If you let the bar sink and if you try to be explosive with this one, right, typically it's easy to have this happen, right? Just fucking cave in, and the leg drive, the angle of where your legs are, it really fucking sucks. Like, not saying you can't do it. I've seen people do it, but I've been in a way better scenario where if it's like this, I'm just throwing it off my chest. But those three are the primary ones. Now, I've had issues with grip for a while on bench when I was younger.
Not anything recently. I don't really use straps, wrist wraps. I probably should, but the issue that I have with not using straps is like I like to feel the bar. I've had it where when I'm using straps, my one arm will kind of like twist up or twist down, and then the arms kind of start like twisting and stuff, and it's like, you know what? I'm not built for bench. I like to feel the entire bench. I'm a full raw bencher, if you will. So this is how I like to grip up the bar. Let's get close in here. Let's get comfortable. So I remember a while ago, many moons ago, with many coaches, they would say, bulldog grip, bulldog grip. I've watched many tutorials on it, and I was a complete idiot with it, because when I was setting up this bulldog grip, I would set it up where the bar would sit way too high, like up here, and I would have wrist wraps on, but my hands would be hurting. Now, I'm not saying you can't bench like that. If you can, great, but most long-limbed benchers, you probably don't. It probably hurts. Maybe some shorter arm benchers you can, because it's like a nice tight pocket, and you're just like this. But for me, I didn't like that. So this is what I like to do. And this is how you know you're setting it up correctly, is you can pretty much like let go of your fingers, and it will be still in the palm of your hands. So I'll have it where I'll get my fingers distance, right? Now with that, go on comfortability. Right now, what I've noticed is middle finger has helped the most, where it's like shorten range of motion, but I also get the last bit of like tricep extension towards the end of the movement. But it's this right here. See how I'm not even holding the bar, and it's just holding there? Like, that shit's just like staying. My pinkies aren't even on the bar. So it's like that, but then cover up the hands. So, and then I like to have a little bit of space in there. You don't have to, but I kind of like it. I've been playing around with it. So it's like this. Now, Joe, if you want to come around, and guys, I'm not holding it like this. I'm not having it like that. That hurts my wrist. I want to have it where it's stacked correctly, and we showed it from the back. This is what I meant in the front. See that? See how it just holds in there? I can just play piano or whatever, right? Now, to have the palms closed, yeah, get tight. See that? See how there's a little space in there? And I keep it like just a little space, just a little bit. I like it. It almost feels like a little space when you're pulling hook grip. Now, there's a few that we could make, what do you call it, honorable mentions, that Joey was like, we're not talking about that, and I'm agree. But I just got to bring these honorable mentions in because so many people have hurt themselves doing it. So, unless you're an elite level bench presser, and you're probably not going to be watching this video because I don't need to help you, you got the Mega West Side Barbell Style Suicide Grip. Fuck, I almost just dropped it on my face doing it like that. It's when you just have it like this. Your classic gym goers, I used to do it back when I was like 17. You know, it's not the way to go, because if the bar falls, it's falling on you. No one's catching it. You're getting a barbell filled with your teeth. 300 pounds of teeth just, out. Teeth are expensive. You don't want that. Now, the other thing is the good old Chinese wrist bending, whatever you want to call it. And that's what it looks like. I ain't even going to unrack it. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore because it's nonsense. I'm American. We're gonna do it the bulldog way. Like that. Now, watch your bench soar. Doing it that way. Okay. We just finished up, partially, for the most part, the technicality of a bench press, but how do you actually improve your bench press? How do you get stronger, right? There is that 50% equation of having 100% success rate with your technique, but you need the other 50% of the equation to achieve 100% success rate, and that is the programming, the strength training, and all that, and I'm going to talk about it. So this is going to be my number one piece of advice, and you're not going to expect this. Not from me, not from many people, because they don't want to talk about it. This is why a lot of the girls bench a lot weights. If you're wondering how these girls in these college locker rooms and whatnot are benching 225 for reps, the Cranins and the Joys and all these other things, you need to grow a big booty. All right? Like, my bench skyrocketed when my butt got huge, okay? If you grow a giant butt, just think about it, okay? You're essentially turning the bench press into a decline because your chest is sitting like this because the butt is growing. Now, you might not like hearing that as a guy, but women love a big butt on a man, all right? You know how many compliments I had it where they're like, damn, Sawyer, you got a fatty. And I was like, thanks, girl. And guys, now you want to grow a butt. I'm being completely serious because the other question is, like, if you're about to get red lighted, but the butt is on, right? Maybe your hamstrings come off the bench, but the glutes are staying on the bench. That's 3 white lights, okay? Now, the other thing is back thickness and chest thickness. Everybody wants to improve the chest. Oh, if I want a better bench, okay, I'm going to get a thicker chest. But they always forget about thickening the back. The thicker you can get your back, you know, if you grow an inch of thickness on your back, that's an inch less that the bar has to go down. So, how do you do that? I like having seal rows because it's a reverse bench pretty much. Helps with pretty much maintaining, I don't want to say like scapular retraction, but it's almost like I'm doing the reverse of what a bench is. So on a technicality standpoint, it's like I'm feeling what this is supposed to feel like, but I'm not actually bench pressing. And it's a weird way to say it because I've used a lot of movements, and a seal row is, a barbell seal row, to keep in mind, was probably the best feeling because I'm sitting on my chest and I'm doing exactly of what this bench press would be, but it's complete opposite. It's as if we took this combo rack and decided to screw it up on the wall and I was doing bench press, but it was like upside down. I don't know if that makes sense. So, seal rows, they're great. Do you do them?
No.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't bench 405.
You're right.
I did seal rows, I benched 405.
Do seal rows.
Sorry, Joey. This became my new persona. Is like shitting on people. It's like the new Chad in me. When you lose 40 pounds, you turn into a dick.
Yep.
Okay. Now, besides the seal rows, T-bar rows, any cable rows, you want to just grow the back. All right. Now, there's a couple other things, a couple of little hacks and whatnot. Just like the deadlift video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I kind of sprinkle in some things that people don't talk about or mention. Come with me. This is my lady. This is Jill. Have you seen that TikTok?
Yeah.
So, you can use this unilateral plate-loaded chest machine, which is great. Make sure the seat is down, right? I've seen so many of these TikTok junkies having the seat be so up high, and then it turns it out where like the range of motion's like, come on. Bring that seat low. But what I'll use this machine for is after I'm done with my compound movement, I want to work on staying tight yet explosive. So I'm doing the same setup pretty much that I have with my bench press, right? But when I'm bringing it down in a controlled fashion, but I am pressing it as hard as I can up. Now, this has helped with me because I almost feel like if I were to try to stay controlled on the bench press with these long arms, these daddy long leg of arms, if I become so technical and then I just like microscopically like bring the elbows in too much or too far out, the bench press, I'd lose. I lose all technique and there's nothing I can do. So the best thing I can do is just get stronger at a more explosive movement. So when I have 405 pounds on my chest, I can just rip it, you know, what do you call it? Rocket ship off the chest. And this is what this machine helps do. So after my entire bench workout of reps, you know, singles, fours, whatever the case is, I come into here and we'll do this for a couple reps, you know. Set of 6, set of 4, set of 8, whatever you want to call it. I don't write your bench program. Maybe I'll drop one and make more money, Alex Eubank style. But I'll have it where as soon as this bar is coming down, boom. But there's weight on the bar. Don't let your shoulders come off. I kind of looked like an absolute doofus with that. But I'm being as explosive as possible while not having these shoulders come off. I want these shoulders tight, but it's just like this, just like that. Usually I have like 3 plates, 3.5 plates on here, but you know, it's a rest day. So second movement, we have it on the ground right here. It's a dip machine, right? If you can't perform a dip, body weight dip, get used to that because we want to do weighted dips. Now, I switched out weighted dips about 1.5 years ago because I was coming into this issue. Now, this was a personal issue of mine, and if you can kind of learn from my mistakes and make progress, might as well. And this is the issue I was having happening. And that's why I switched the weighted dip for the unilateral plate-loaded chest machine. And that's because I had the error of making my rib cage flare when I was going down. So I'd be in the hole, and then as soon as I come out of the hole, I would do this. Now, for me to correct that, I would have to go down maybe like 1.5 plates or 2 plates, but it wasn't enough stimulus for my triceps. So it was one of those things where it's like, all right, to get the maximize stimulus, but then to make it more technically proficient, like it was just on this weird scale where I felt, you know what? I'm not trying to be, you know, the most technically proficient in the weighted dips. I'm trying to use the weighted dips as a tool to help my bench press. So I cut that out and I went with the unilateral chest machine. Now, if you feel like, hey, I can use weighted dips, my technique's not failing, my bench press is progressing, use the weighted dips. But if you feel like, hey, after a year, and I give it to you guys, like try the weighted dips, not for a week, not for 2 weeks, not for 4 weeks, like try it for a year. I was doing it for a full year, and then I decided to make the switch. And it's been great for me, but I really want to still make a part in this video to go, hey, try it out. Try it for a year, try it for half a year, whatever the case is, right? But at least try it out. And if you feel like, hey, I don't feel like I'm getting injured, I feel like I'm progressing, the progress I'm making on these weighted dips is having a good transverse effect to my bench press, use it, okay? Because at the end of the day, there is no better machine for the bench press when it comes to these like body individuals where, you know, Nabil, for example, loves the seated pin-loaded tricep push-down machine. I max that thing out. With how my body sets in the machine, it just doesn't feel that good. I would much go with this over a pin-loaded. But if I had to pick my goat out of the 3, I'm picking the unilateral plate-loaded chest machine. But that doesn't have to be you. It's just get comfortable with picking and finding and sticking with the machine. If you go too many times and just trying out all these different tricep machines and different tricep machines or chest machines, you're not going to be able to see progress because you're trying way too many things. Pick one machine, stick with that machine 6 months to a year, progress on that machine, and then in that same time, see if it has a good transverse effect to your bench press. That's how you make these the accessories be more tailored and specific to you. Same thing with that leg press, that horizontal leg press over there. I have to use it for my squats because it improves my low bar squats significantly compared to a belt squat. A belt squat just improves my high bar squats more than what I want, which is a competition low bar squat. I hope that makes sense. Now, I want to give you one more little tool before we end out on this video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't commented yet, comment. And if you haven't used code Sawyer 10 or code Sawyer on supplement products, do that now. All right, so I'm not trying to get too like West Side barbell with this, but when I was in my peak bulk, 250 pounds, Joey seen it, Nabil saw it. This is how I'd warm up, okay? After I did some movements, I'll go over to the bench press and it'd be 1 rep, 2 rep, 3 rep max. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like 165, 275, 375 max. Most people don't do that, especially when you're longer limbed, but with this warm-up routine, I just felt strong, I felt explosive, I was in a calorie surplus. But this is what I was doing, right? Maybe I would try out, feel out 1 red, and if 1 red still felt a little iffy, I'd come over here, grab a band, right? And I would come sit down here and do the same bench press with this. Now, I would do this and try to press
as fast and as hard as I can while keeping my chest upright and my shoulders intact, because I've had it many times where I've came into the gym thinking, oh, I gotta be explosive, I gotta shoot this bar off my chest, but I'm not staying tight. This band is reinforcing me to stay tight, making sure I'm thinking of this rib cage being up, and also there's this stability factor because it's a band, right? If I were to hold this for a couple seconds, you'd be seeing my elbows like wobbling. It's good to kind of train that. It's not enough to tax me, and it's enough to warm me up where after I already tried one red, I'm already feeling good. Just doing this for a couple reps, I do it like maybe, I don't know, 15, 12, maybe 20 reps depending on, just like 1 or 2 sets. I can just go into the bench press, set up all nice. Everything feels just like nice and healthy. My joints, my triceps, everything. I don't like going into a movement and feeling like I'm 45 years old. I have all these old powerlifters telling me, Sawyer, you're gonna feel like an 8-year-old man. No, I won't. You know why? Because I warm up properly. Get out of my face. Again, this movement is like probably total bullshit, but I just do it. And I want to tell you more about just more bullshit movements I do, because here's the thing. I've been doing a lot of BS movements since I was like 17. And now I'm seeing all these movements that I was doing when I was 17, like on Instagram, being like, oh, this is how you protect about stuff. So I might as well like just show you all this bullshit stuff that I do that I just like and it feels good for me. This is like in a separate part of the YouTube video. Like just try it if you want. It might feel good for you. But if I ever feel like I have tight shoulders or if I have this weird stability issue, I'll grab a band like this or something tighter, sometimes like a Mark Bell band. And weirdly enough, I'll stay tight like this, and then I'll just move like this. And then when this starts feeling good, right, I'll start rotating my arms like that, and then like this. And I'll do that for maybe like, 10 to 12, and then I'll do some of these. And then I'll sometimes do some weird shit like this. See how I'm like rotating my my hands? And then I'll come up, and then rotate, and then come up like this, right? And like, I'm sure there's like some weird like way that this can actually help, but I get this like nice fiery pain in my shoulders, and I'm trying to stay tight. That's the whole thing. I'm like just trying to stay tight. Usually it's with a stronger band, to be honest, but yeah, I'll do that, and my shoulders will feel on fire, but I haven't had any shoulder injuries, and usually if you just do like some weird movements, but they feel good, if you felt like shit beforehand, it has to be doing something right. Has to be, That's the whole thing. Like, you're in the gym. I mean, there's inventions that haven't been made, machines that haven't been invented yet. Might as well make up shit, right? While following some scientific protocols. Don't get me wrong, I'm a scientific guy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you took something, from this. I had a lot of fun talking to you. Quick recap. Grow the glutes, grow the back thickness, and if you're a longer limbed, I beg you to eat more food. I would not have gotten to a 405 plus bench press if I did not gain significant weight. I started this journey at like 135 pounds, and I had to put on 110 pounds extra to bench into the 400s. Now, if you're not a long limb person, maybe you don't have to eat as much, but I beg you, get big or die trying at least. All right? Subscribe, comment, Gymshark for clothing, Gorilla Mind for supplements. Put down in the comments if you like this video. If you want to see a squat tutorial, I can go into a in-depth on low bar, high bar, whatever the case is. If you want some bench variations, a close grip bench is always great. An incline bench press is always good. Pause your bench press. Sawyer Klatt signing out.